Hi there, traders. This is Brad Gilbert with the FX Market Insight for Tuesday, the 4th of August. All right, now as we come into Tuesday's trading, I just want to give you a little bit of a heads up. I mean, it's rare that on Monday you see such a clean trade, but just looking at yesterday's analysis, hopefully the color coding here is working for you and you understand it. So yesterday, looking for a break trade on dollar Swiss, the key level here, 91.58. Now that sort of came straight into play, went up to 92.40, and the whole move was on, right? Dollar Swiss hadn't broken down. We'd seen particularly the Euro and Aussie breakdown, and still Sterling was so far above its support line, it was still a potential buyer dip. So that's yesterday's trading. And this is the reason why I bring it up is these opportunities, like the opportunity here on dollar Swiss in particular, it happens, you usually get one shot at it, right? So don't go chasing this. This opportunity here is now completed, right? By 190, I missed the target by 10 pips. To me, that's a hell of an opportunity, especially for a Monday. And what I'm sort of talking about is you've got to take advantage of these opportunities when they come up. Generally Monday, I would encourage you probably to trade a smaller trade size, because you see how a lot of the pairs here, there's a bit of uncertainty around dollar yen, dollar CAD, Kiwi as well, and potential reversals here. So once everyone knows what's going on, right, it's a little bit harder to sort of pick the trade. And if I just move that out of the way, that's because when, like today's analysis, right, you get the opportunity here and you think, okay, I'll get into a trade now. No, you know what? They've all come and gone. The short-term moves are going against the longer-term moves. We've got potential reversals here on a lot of pairs, right? So these are still in play. And to me, that really tells me that the currencies are in limbo. So don't go chasing the market after the opportunities have actually already gone. And what I mean by that is, if I just bring you over to the charts, if I get that across. Okay, what I'm talking about is you've got these moves now. Aussie, Euro, Kiwi was sort of teetering around there as well. They were it was a bit iffy whether they were going to go or not, but out of those pairs, and we know how the currencies, the foundation knowledge you should have is how these currencies correlate. Dollar Swiss was sitting just around here, and if Euro comes off, dollar Swiss goes up, and that's what we saw here. So just a nice one to piece together some of the core foundation components of the online pro trader course. So what do we got today? Well, you know what? These things here, the price action tells me that, it's a little bit in no man's land. To me though, if we're going to sort of work out what the dollar's doing, and there's no major change in the news, okay, at this stage, a little bit of dollar strength. It looks like a bit of squaring up, a bit of a, repositioning, but I don't think it's a dollar buying situation. So if Aussie, Kiwi, Euro continue lower up, we do have a nice little entry here on Sterling below that trend line. It's the only pair that hasn't broken down. You're seeing dollar CAD sort of discombobulate, trade all over the place. Now there is a hurricane off Carolina, so just keep an eye on that. That could come into play. I think that move spike up in the oil price was due to that. And dollar yen, well, it's found a new home again up around 106. Once again, those Japanese officials aren't real happy with the way the yen has been appreciating. So that's sort of reflected there. And that's pretty much all we've got, right? You come back in to look at the core components of the dollar. This dollar index, the downtrend is in play. We've got multiple resistance levels on the top side. So any upward move for the dollar is going to be tough. To me, this is just a slow little tweak taking out some stops. If there's no strong dollar news coming out, well, then I think we're going to see this thing roll over again, and we could see those currency pairs come back into play. In saying that, it's got room to still move, say, another 100 points higher, and that'll push Euro down 100, Aussie down 100, Kiwi down 100, and potentially Sterling down 100 points. And the trend is not necessarily completely in play, but it will start trending lower again. Once again, it all comes down to the news, right? And what we're dealing with is still some geopolitical news. And one thing, if the news services don't have anything to talk about, they will come back and say, profit taking, squaring up, all this sort of stuff. And you know what? Some of that is true. I think last Friday, but right now we're in limbo, right? We've seen the dollar have a slight correction. We're waiting to see what goes on from here. There's the US-China situation. Obviously, the sale of TikTok to Microsoft or potentially Microsoft is a big talking point. Trump now wants a big portion of the sale, and then you got your regular COVID action there as well. So just be aware that's where we are. Like today, Tuesday, coming into the Asian session, technically the currencies don't look awesome because they have already sort of broken down through levels. So right now, I'm looking for more information on the dollar to see what's going on. But in actual fact, what we do have is Aussie and Aussie crosses should be a talking point. We've got Aussie retail sales figures coming out and also the RBA meeting there as well. So if you are looking at pairs, particularly in that Asian session, make sure you tune in to keep an eye on the Aussie and the Aussie crosses. That's where the potential action is going to be through that Asian session. And when you come back down to looking at the rest of the pairs, just keep an eye on the data. We've got factory orders out of the US. And then later on at the end of today, we've got the employment change numbers out of New Zealand. We'll see if that comes into play. But right now, as I said, it's not bad trading conditions, okay, as we come into Tuesday. I think as we go through this week, I think we're going to see more opportunities across these pairs. There's potential reversals, which, they could either go down or go up, but we're going to have our answers by over the next 24, 36 hours. All right, guys, have a good trade day. Cheerio.